Fight going on. UFC Vegas 108 tomorrow at the time of this recording. Just going to go through the whole card, break it down from the first fight to the last fight, general picks, maybe winning methods. Question mark on a fight. Don't know who's going to win. Don't know either of them maybe. I don't know what's going to happen. Skull, losing fighter. Lock is a lock for a parlay, and underdog pick is somebody who I think is going to win, who happens to be underdog on the betting odds. All right. The first fight of the night, Piero Rodriguez versus Kelvin Souza. Picking Piero Rodriguez. She didn't lose to Angela Hill. She's probably got more grit, I'd say. Kelvin Souza has like one good win, and it wasn't against somebody very high caliber. Piero Rodriguez has at least a decently aging win, so yeah, I think her gritty style with the boxing and the wrestling is going to be enough. Yeah, Kelvin Souza lost to Angela Hill, bro. Like, I don't see her going far. Rafael Estevam versus Felipe Bunez. Estevam is a high-pressure grappler. Same thing for Felipe Bunez, but I think Rafael Estevam is going to get a decision because he's slightly better in the grappling, and I think he'll be able to push a higher pace in the harder moments. I think he's just gonna weigh over him with his jiu-jitsu. I think that's how this goes. I mean, Estevam beat Charles Johnson and Jesus Aguilar. Charles Johnson is not an easy win. The last guy that beat Charles Johnson was the Temerov guy who's on steroids, and before that was exactly like over a year. Felipe Bunez has one win, and it was against Jose Johnson, who just got cut from the UFC, I'm pretty sure. So it's not really saying much. Yeah, I have to go with Rafael Estevam. Austin Bashi versus John Yanis. John Yanis, I guess he's okay on the feet. Austin Bashi is kind of just like a jacked hamster. He's got good wrestling, good submissions. His striking is like okay, but it's really going to be in his submission game that he's going to pull this out. I think he's going to get a rear naked choke in round one. Just how I think it's going to go. Most of these new guys that come to the UFC on like a week's notice don't do too well. They usually end up getting finished unless they're some crazy prospect. But he's not. You know, that's just the fact of the matter. All right. This fight right here, I really don't know what's going to happen in this one, but my assumption is that with Nick Klein being a wrestling-focused fighter and Puliev being a kickboxer, Nick Klein, obviously knowing this, is going to try to shoot takedowns and go for control grappling. He isn't horrible on the feet, though, too, and Puliev kind of builds his way into the fight, so I think Nick Klein could get some momentum from ground and pound or maybe just wearing out Puliev in the first round and then cruise his way to a decision win in rounds 2 and 3. Maybe shooting a couple takedowns, holding him there for like 3 minutes. Yeah, that's how I see that one going. Maybe a 29-28 or a 30-27. This one right here, I want to say Rodolfo Vieira wins this one. Trishan Gore, his fight IQ is just shitty. That's the fact of the matter. His fight IQ is just not the best. Vieira he's very physical. He's got good BJJ. I think he's going to get a sub in probably a couple rounds. I think Trishan Gore is going to be really explosive in the beginning, but Vieira is going to keep his composure and find a submission after the initial blitz. I think that's how this one goes. Yeah, I can't trust Trishan Gore in the UFC. That's it, really. Alright, so with this one right here, Randy Nakamura is minus 450 or minus 500 depending on the bookie. He's not really that great. I mean, he is that great, but in his last fight he didn't look that great, and it's really because he fell in love with striking. He was doing so much striking when he could have just wrestled more and from the jump and got more control time to possibly win a fight, you know? He lost his undefeated record and in the UFC because he didn't want to wrestle. Like With that being said, I think he beats Nathan Fletcher. I mean, Nathan Fletcher getting Rinya Nakamura after losing your last fight is kind of fucked up, but that's the game, I guess. Yeah, I got Rinya Nakamura by wrestling decision, lay and pray decision. Not much else to say there. All right, Kevin Vallejos versus Danny Silva. Kevin Vallejos is a very, very hard-hitting boxer. He's kind of like a younger, I wouldn't even say younger Ilia Topuria, but he is kind of a younger Ilia Topuria with the style. He's very boxing heavy. He's a hard hitter. Yeah, his only loss is to John Silva by decision, in where he took the first round, and Gene Silva just made reads. Gene Silva is just really good at adjusting. Yeah, he's a different level of fighter. He's too technical, on top of all of his attributes, whatever. But yeah, Kevin Vallejos gave him his toughest fight in a while, and he's fighting Danny Silva, he's 2-0 in the UFC, but he had 2 split decisions against no-name competition in Josh Kulabau, and I don't even remember the other dude's name. But yeah, Josh Kulabau's not in the UFC anymore. Lucas Almeida, that was the guy. I'm pretty sure he beat Lucas Almeida, and he beat him by split decision. Lucas Almeida gets finished by everybody. Kevin Vallejos, round 1 KO. That's the pick we're going for this fight. All right, this one right here, I want to pick Neil Magny. I feel like this is a crafty pick here, and this could either age very well or very bad. Neil Magny could get a decision or get knocked the fuck out or lose a decision. I would think that this goes the distance either way, unless Neil Magny just gets chinned and his chin's completely gone. But yeah, I'm going with Neil Magny. That's my pick. I don't know why I have a gut feeling he's gonna win this, even though he should lose. Yeah, I think he's gonna rally a win, one more win. Dos Santos, though, this is a 50-50 fight, I think, but I'm picking Neil Magny just because of the grappling. This one right here, I'm picking Cornell. God, this division is like so bad. This 135 division for women is just so bad. Like, Carla Rosa lost her last fight to Eileen Perez purely because she didn't strike enough. Like, she was kind of just stalking her down and not throwing. Nora Cornell at least looks like she wants to fight and throw hands, even if the other girl is running away. I have to take Nora Cornell. Yeah, I think she's going to be more active, and I think the grappling is going to be, it's not going to matter. I don't think either of them are going to grapple. Maybe a clinch gets put into the fight because somebody grabs a clinch, but who knows. Yeah, I'm going with Nora Cornell. Her takedown defense is questionable, though, so if Carla Rosa decides to wrestle, it might be over. Esteban Ribovics versus Elvis Brenner. This has Fight of the Night written all over it. I really like this fight. This should be on the prelims of a pay-per-view, but instead, it's on the main card of an Apex fight night. Going with Ribovics. I love Ribovics, so maybe I'm a little biased, but I do think he is going to beat Elvis Brenner. I think Elvis Brenner is going to look good, but he will get caught. I don't think he's going to withhold the pressure, because Esteban Ribovics loves to, get in scraps. He's always in a scrap. I don't think he'll handle it. Esteban Ribovics, either by late TKO or decision. Unless Elvis Brenner just takes him down and wrestles, because I don't see him outstriking Ribovics. Ribovics should win this one on the feet. I'm going with Rebecki. I'm not going to pick against Rebecki. I did in his last fight, and it was a split decision where he almost got finished, but he also almost finished Orwai and had him in more danger, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm going with Rebecca. He's got more power on the feet. He's got great grappling too. I think he's got better grappling. I think he's got more power in the hands. I think they're both gonna have the same type of output, but I think Rebecca is just gonna be too much for him. I think he's gonna be too high pressure, and he's just gonna be in his face for 15 minutes, and that's how I think he's gonna get it done. Is a kind of Sean Strickland with power, 30-27, walk him down the whole time type of performance, where Chris Duncan just doesn't get any breathing room, and every time he shoots, he gets sprawled and out grappled. Yeah, I'm taking Rebecca. And for the main event, Tatsuro Taira beats Hyun-Sung Park. I'm going to say round 2 sub. Could be a decision. Tatsuro Taira, I think he's just miles ahead in the grappling. I think the striking, Tatsuro Taira, he doesn't really move his head. Hyun-Sung Park is power. Something could happen, but I just don't think it will. I think Tatsuro Taira is too good. I think he's learned too much from the Brandon Royval loss. His only loss that, one, you got to move your head, and 2, you can't rely on just grappling to win, because not every judge is going to favor you because of grappling. He did really good though, even on the feet in that fight. But yeah, I'm going with Tatsuro Taira by sub. Could be a decision, but yeah, just via the grappling, he's going to win this fight. I would give y'all some plays for like a many men parlay with 3 guys plus money. But I haven't got any of my parlays in. If you want to see any bets that I have or I'm thinking about doing, go to the TikTok. I'll probably post a video before the card of any of my notes saying what's going to happen each fight. Yeah. Those are my picks for the card. So for reference, we're going with Pierre Rodriguez, Rafael Estevam, Austin Bashi as a lock. Nick Klein is the underdog, but this could go either way. Rodolfo Vieira via not having shit fight IQ. Rinya Nakamura by learning from his loss. Kevin Vallejos via first round KO. 50-50 fight, but I think Neil Magny is going to win with his grappling. Nora Cornell, I think she's going to win with volume. Esteban Ribovics, probably also via volume and power. Just pace overall. Rebecca is, I think they're going to probably strike the same amount, but I think Rebecca is just going to hit harder and do more damage with his strikes and just scrape rounds. Maybe he'll put him out, but I'm not too sure of it. He didn't look good on the feet against Jordan Vucenic, though, so anything can happen. And Tatsuro Taira, hopefully by sub, because I think I'll sprinkle money on sub. But it could be a decision. We don't know. Yeah, at minus 350, though, for a money line with a parlay, I think him, Ribovics, and Vallejos, that's, I want to say that's plus money, and I'm pretty sure that hits. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, sub. Follow the TikTok, follow the Twitter, all in the description. Yeah. Until next week. Or actually, I'll do a recap video. But after that, if I do any videos, it'll probably be for Vegas 109. Yeah, until next time.